President Trump today meeting with 24 CEOs from the largest manufacturing companies in America, and a clear focus was on growth and bringing jobs back to the United States. The CEO of Dow Chemical, who Trump handpicked to head the Manufacturing Council, called the meeting a success and praised the president.
This is one of the greatest economies, if ever the greatest in the world. The opportunity in this economy to grow it even more than the 2% rate is there. And what I've noticed about this president is that's what he wants to do. He's, in a way, very Reagan-esque with the commentary around growth.
This is probably the most pro-business administration since the Founding Fathers.
David Farr, Chairman and CEO of Emerson Electric Company, was in the room with the president today, and he joins me now. David, I just want to ask you, because Andrew Liveris was a critic of Donald Trump during the campaign, now saying probably the most pro-business president since the Founding Fathers, and has the ability and chance to be Reagan-esque. Do you agree with that early assessment?
I was very supportive of Trump from day one. I was one of the few executives out there in the CEO land that supported Donald Trump from day one. And now what I see from the meetings with President Trump is that he's very supportive of manufacturing. And given my current position as chairman of the National Association of Manufacturers, I had the opportunity to work with 15,000 members, and we all have the same excitement and energy around this whole idea of focusing on manufacturing and revitalizing this area.
We're seeing it already. You know, I thought it was interesting because I think the CEO of Ford, Mr. Fields, this might have been his third or fourth trip to the White House.
Exactly.
And early on, one of the trips, he came out and he said, we might be on the cusp of an American renaissance in manufacturing.
Yeah.
Last week, we saw amazing manufacturing data out of Philadelphia Fed and Empire State Fed. I know it's early, but are we already starting to see some of that anticipation, that excitement manifest into reality?
You know, from my perspective, what we're seeing today is we've been underspending in the manufacturing world in the United States for quite some time. Because I think there's been a lack of focus on manufacturing from Washington. In my opinion, they've had the regulation after regulation, all the policies were against manufacturing. And now for the first time, as Andrew talked about, this president is very much focused on bringing manufacturing jobs back here. And the way you do is you focus on tax reform, regulations, infrastructure, and education. And that's what this president's very much focused on right now.
I want to ask you about what I call the manufacturing paradox. We talk about manufacturing and we focus on that one area, the 7 million lost jobs.
Yes.
We know that's clear, but some folks say, hey, as those 7 million disappeared, they were replaced by higher paid, 33 million higher paid service jobs. We also have output at an all-time high, and GDP to our economy is over $2 trillion. And in fact, other than China, they're number one, we're number two. The next four nations don't have the kind of GDP for manufacturing that we do. So is it such a problem outside of the jobs loss, and does it mean that these jobs losses can't all be brought back?
You know, my perspective, and I've been in manufacturing since 5 years old. I grew up walking a plant with my dad. He was a plant manager with Corning Glass Works. I now run a great manufacturing company called Emerson. So I've been doing that for 17 years. What's going on is manufacturing's changed so much over the last 15, 25, 30 years that we need higher educated, skilled workers to run these facilities. We can make more with automation, with the skilled workers,
right.
And that's why there's an education gap right now, and that's why you see CEOs always talking about this issue.
A lot of my viewers don't believe that that gap really exists to the degree that the industry says it does. They think it's a ruse by Silicon Valley to bring in cheap workers. But having said that, I went to your site, and you guys have something you call Love for STEM Students. Also in your role with the Manufacturing Association, you talk about this because we are going to have millions of jobs that will organically happen, whether rules are changed or not, and we want to fill them with Americans, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And from my perspective, automation actually creates other jobs. I need software people. We had our first day of the tour of manufacturing for the NAM down in Austin, one of our facility. It's a software company, and it's designed systems and software. And that is where the skill base is. These are higher paid jobs. These jobs come from America. And so as you automate your plant, you're going to have more automation, and you need higher skills. And we're getting older. My average workforce is getting older and older, and what I need to do is replace them with higher skilled workers. These workers are going to be educated in America, and they're going to work here, and we need them. That's why you see CEOs always talking about the STEM programs or additional higher education.
David, before I let you go, we have a Donald Trump tweet that just came out. I want to share it with you. Can we just bring that tweet up? You can see S&P 500 edges higher after Trump renews his job pledge, and he refers to a Fox Business report. the energy, the excitement that we're seeing in the stock market, you feel that now? Do you feel like everyone's coming on board in your industry? Because there were some skeptics.
Yeah, what I see from 15,000 members of the NAM, people are energized. I see my customer base energized. We need to follow through and get things done around tax reform, around regulation, education, and the infrastructure. And I think this country has a chance to be renaissance around manufacturing.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have been around since 1890, so you know how to make it through bad times and good times.
Thank you very much,
Really
Charles. It's great being here.
See you soon.